Walking.
That's happened down all the time.
All right, we'll call the meeting to order. This is the Perry County Alcoholic Beverage Board, June 24th, 2026. No remonstrance, no newer transfer permits, but an applicant seeking renewal after violation. If you would please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm under the penalties of perjury that the answers given on your application to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right. This is Hoosier Heights. This is Hoosier Heights Country Club, R 6220361. You're here for two violations today. The first being on, it looks like June the 18th. At 11:04 for scope of your permit, which is a beer retailer and service of setup. So we were asking some questions of your GM, I think last month, who didn't know the answer to any of the questions. That's fine. Didn't know the answer to any of the questions, and you're listed in this report as being present at all of them. So I guess explain to us how you had this violation.
Okay. Well, we're a small club, first of all, 9-hole golf course, and it's restaurant business. Turnover is unbelievable. And we hired a new manager, acting manager, was training to be the manager.
Which is who?
Alicia Ivory. And her and her family had just moved here from California about 3 months prior to us hiring her. And the biggest weekend we have of the year is our Glenn Ress. He was a doctor here and his son died, and they have a tournament named after his son. And it's a moneymaker for us and also for the foundation. And they didn't have enough beer. And she went to the liquor store, TNR liquor store, and bought, I think it was 10 cases of beer. She didn't know. She didn't ask me. I knew it was against the law. I didn't even know that she had done it until I saw the excise. I was out there the Monday after. I was out there because we had a company in Ohio aerating our fairways for us. And the secretary called me and she said, the treasurer called me. She said, Dennis, can you meet with the excise at the country club? And I said, why? And she said, well, they're there. She said, we did something wrong. So the club was closed. So anyway, they were out front and I was on the course. So I drove up there and met with them. And he told me what we'd been turned in. Now we had another employee. Her name was Amber Wilbur. I think you have her name in there as well. And she was a disgruntled employee. And she had it out for Alicia. She was trying her damnedest to get her fired. And the gentleman was here last week, Greg, who is his responsibility is the kitchen and the inside the clubhouse. She thought she had him in his back pocket, him in her back pocket. So she thought she was going to be able to get rid of her, and she wasn't able to. So she saw that she made a violation, and she did something wrong. And she turned us in. 2 days later, we fired her, not because of that, because we had already agreed as a board to fire her 2 weeks prior to this, but we wanted to wait till we got that tournament over because we just needed a body and another body in the clubhouse. And 2 days later, she turned us in for a second violation. That's because the guy who fired her was Greg, who was here last time, who she thought she had in her back pocket. So
okay, so
anyway,
I just want to summarize what you're telling us here is
Okay.
that you had an employee that you were going to fire, and that employee called in a complaint
correct.
2 weeks before.
No. She called in the complaint. I got the excise was there on a Monday, and she called. The complaint came in on a Sunday, as I understand it.
Okay, so was the complaint valid?
Yes,
Okay, so the complaint was valid.
the first one. Yes.
Who was overseeing your manager, Alicia Ivory?
Greg Frizzell. He was the gentleman who was here last time.
Okay, so Greg's job is to oversee the manager of the premise, and who was ordering the alcohol?
The club manager,
Which is?
Alicia.
Okay.
And she
So
didn't
his
know.
job is to oversee Alicia.
Correct.
Alicia's job is to oversee the purchase of the alcohol.
Yes, and the other
And you're
stuff.
telling me that the guy who both oversees the person who buys the alcohol and the person who also buys the alcohol didn't have the foresight to make purchases of alcohol in advance of your biggest moneymaker of the year.
Well, kind of keep this in mind. We're an all volunteer club. None of us get paid. He doesn't, he's just a board member that has responsibility. I'm a board member that has responsibility. Mine is the course. Now, and we had in our meeting, we talked about, we got enough alcohol. Well, we didn't have enough alcohol.
Yeah. You're a for-profit organization, right? You're an RR permit, so you're not a fraternal club, you're not a 501c3.
I don't, what'd you say first?
You're a for-profit, right?
No, we're a nonprofit. We're listed as
nonprofit. You're a 501c3?
Yes, we're a 501c3, yes.
Okay. Why are you a 501c3?
That was set up many, many, many years ago before I was ever a member there. So I don't have an answer for that. Don't even know who set it up that way.
Okay, so in addition to the person who you charged and trusted with purchasing the alcohol, you also had some Fireball Blazing Apple whiskey bottles
Yeah.
on the counter.
Yeah, yeah.
And you allowed people to bring those into the premise and you guys mixed drinks for them.
No, we did not. What happened was, we have a gal and I don't even know why she works there. We have a gal that cooks for us on the weekends. Her name is Becky. I can't think of what her last name is. She is what's it called now when you overlook all your HR? She's over HR for Master Brand. Now think of it, she's working for us on the weekends. And I asked her, I said, Becky, why are you working here? She said, it keeps me out of the shopping center. So she works Saturdays and Sundays. She brought in a small bottle of Fireball, wanted to mix a drink, possibly to put in on our menu for drinks. And she went off and left it that night sit there, which was wrong. I seen it sitting there that morning whenever he was there. And so, but I had no idea. We wouldn't have bought small bottles. She brought it from her home.
Okay, well, it
Which was
says
wrong.
a bottle on the
A
counter.
bottle, yeah.
And this woman does what for you?
She cooks and bartends.
Okay.
Saturdays and Sundays.
So your second violation after that happened, that's June 18th.
Mhm.
Okay, July 2nd. Officer Ricks comes back and again cites you for scope of your permit. And a very similar incident happens. So, well, I mean, we're talking
Yeah.
2 weeks later.
Yeah, here's the problem I have with that one, because he wanted to look in the liquor cabinet both times he was there, which was fine. We let him in. There were 2 bottles of, I couldn't even tell you what kind of name they were. It was liquor I'd never heard of, sitting there and had more dust on it than anything. And we used to have a manager there that whenever somebody, like if you were a member, you wanted a special kind of drink, she'd buy 3 cases of it, and beer or something. So I don't know how long those bottles have been sitting there, but they were dusty. And he only asked for 2 weeks or 2 months worth of receipts from our supplier. Those bottles could have been sitting there for 15 years. But
Does that make it any less?
I don't know. I mean, liquor people change. I mean, the companies go out of business and they get bought out. And I'm just saying, if we would have done a complete due diligence and checked for, a year or 2 years back.
Okay,
We
let
might have found those
me
on-
read you a little portion of this report.
Sure.
Okay, so one of the attachments was a photo of a receipt from a liquor store.
Mhm.
The receipt showed various types of alcohol and cigars purchased from a Total Wine and More liquor store located in Kentucky. The phone number at the top of the receipt matches Total Wine and More located on Shelbyville Road in Matthews, Kentucky. The receipt was partially cut off, so I could not see all of it. Then visited the premise and spoke with the manager. During the visit, they found alcohol related to, paraphrasing here, of course, alcohol not purchased from a wholesaler. So,
Yeah, those 2 were not on that receipt though. I don't know where, see that Amber got the receipt, Amber. Where she got it from, have no clue. We don't go to, I'm not driving to Louisville, Kentucky to buy liquor,
I don't know where Matthews, Kentucky is. I assume
St.
it's across
Matthews,
the bridge.
St. Matthews, yeah, it's in Louisville.
Yeah, so you had a 750 milliliter bottle of Penelope straight bourbon whiskey, weeded 750 milliliter bottle of Kentucky Silk whiskey, and a 750 Drambuie liqueur. On June 23rd, Johnson Brothers and RNDC, which is the distributor, responded they have no record of those products being purchased from them. Southern Glazer and RNDC distributors distributes the above mentioned product. So they distribute it, but they don't have records of you having it.
Right.
So they did their due diligence. They checked.
Well, for 2
You
months,
couldn't
2
provide the receipts. You couldn't provide confirmation that you had purchased them from. a
Not on
wholesaler.
2 months, no. I mean, we
They
paid,
didn't just ask for 2 months. They asked if you had ever bought those products.
he asked for 2 months. I was there when he
Yeah,
asked.
he asked you for 2 months. He
Yeah.
checked with the wholesaler. And they said they had never sold you those products.
Well, they probably didn't. And I don't know how long those bottles were sitting there. Look, I mean, we paid the fine. I mean, I don't remember what it was. It was $750, something like that. I'm just saying that one I thought was a little bit sticky. It could have been, maybe this was bought. But just looking at them, with all the dust on it, you had to know that they'd been there for a long
Because
time.
we're taking your word, there's dust on these. but ironically, a complaint was called in 2 weeks after you had your first violation and they found
Right.
more alcohol related
Well-
to something that was not purchased from a wholesaler.
Well, yes, remember the 2 weeks later was whenever the guy who she really liked and basically sucked up to fired her on Tuesday of the day after they were there. But that was our intent. That was already scheduled to be
So,
done.
so again, the question is,
Where she got the receipt, I have no clue.
was the complaint filed unsubstantiated? The answer to the question is no.
Well, I mean, I think that one, again, where did the receipt come from? I mean, that's, no one knows that.
A photo of a receipt from a liquor store. So, I mean, they didn't just take it out of their pocket.
They didn't. Amber provided them that receipt. Now, where she got it from, I have no clue.
Okay.
Again, I
So
mean, we couldn't prove that we didn't buy it at some point in time. And we couldn't prove that we didn't buy it, and we couldn't prove that it was bought 10 years ago. So, the guy I talked to in Indianapolis, I talked to him briefly and he said, this is your fine. Was fine, paid it.
Okay. What is your position with the club?
I'm president of the board.
So you've got a president of the board. What's your responsibilities?
My responsibility is basically everything out there, but primarily the golf course itself. Anything related to golf
Okay.
outside.
Who's directly under you?
Well, we have a vice president. His name is Greg. He was here the last time.
Okay. Who's under him?
Well, there's really nobody under him. I mean, we have four of the board members.
Okay. You mentioned a person that's in charge of the restaurant side.
Well, yeah, he's responsible for the clubhouse. Everything goes on inside the clubhouse and the restaurant and the bar area.
And who's that? What's his name?
Greg Frizzell.
Okay. I'm not from here. I don't know.
No, I understand.
So,
Yeah, he was here. He was the gentleman who was here last time.
I kept saying we didn't have our bartender's license.
Yeah. And kind of keep in mind, I prior to him, I had that responsibility, and he had just came on the board and he asked me, he said, you need some help, because I couldn't, we none of us get paid except.
so
except our
how long have you been the president?
This is my third year.
How long is your vice
I'm willing to
president?
give it up.
How long has your vice president been in that position?
2 years,
How long has Greg Frizzell been in that position?
2 years.
Okay. So 3 years, 2 years, and 2 years.
Well, I don't know I've been the president for 3 years. He's been the vice president for 2 years.
Right. And then your manager.
Oh, she's been there probably now. She's been there. It's over a year
Okay. So, but the person overseeing the manager had been there for 2 years.
as vice president. No,
Were you guys on
he had
the
only
board in
been
different positions in that time?
prior to one board member left the board who was responsible for the golf course.
Okay. How long have you guys been on the board? This is the point I'm trying to make. How long? have
5
you been-
years. I've been on
So-
the board 5 years. 5 years too long.
And the VP, how long has he been on?
I think it's his third year.
All right. And then the manager who oversees the restaurant side, how long?
She's been there a little over a year.
No. The person that oversees it, Frizzell.
Well, he's the one that's been on the board for 3 years.
Okay. So in 5 years, you guys have never done an inventory of your alcohol?
Oh, yeah.
You've never, okay.
Yeah, when I
But-
took over the kitchen, I didn't take an inventory of the liquor because it doesn't go bad. But I took an inventory of all the beer. I threw 26 cases of beer out there that was outdated. Beer I'd never heard of. That gives you, and I can tell you the gal, you probably know her, here in town. She's been fired everywhere she goes for stealing. And she, like I say, if you came in and you wanted an O'Keefe's, she'd buy 3 cases of it. And you might not ever come back again. But we'd still be stuck with nearly 3 cases of O'Keefe's. Like I said, when I took over after, I threw away 26 cases of beer. I still got pictures of it.
Questions?
This sounds like a messed up deal.
Hmm.
No, I'm not directly, but a little bit of deal with Amber, you get like a revenge factor. I can see that happening.
Well, not only that, let me tell you what else she's done. She's also filed a wrongful, we're in a lawsuit with the EEOC. All right, and then her daughter worked there too. Her daughter quit the very same day she got fired, which we knew that, we expected that. So they have both filed a wrongful, the daughter quit, but she has filed a wrongful dismissal suit against us, and so has Amber.
Why'd you fire her?
For insubordination. There's so many things she done. The biggest thing she did, on Saturdays, if we're open, if that clubhouse is open, the kitchen is open. And I was sitting in there on a Saturday afternoon after golf, and the course was full of golfers. And there's a guy that comes in, he's there a lot, not a member, but he's there a lot and spends a lot of money. He said, "Hey, what you got to eat today?" She's sitting there eating. And she said, "The kitchen's closed." All along, she's eating. And I got up. We have a policy. On Saturdays and Sundays, there was always 3 burgers and 3 brats ready. Because somebody comes in, makes a turn, they want to grab a quick sandwich and go. And I said, "Amber," I said, "the kitchen is not closed." I waited till he left. And I said, "The kitchen is not closed." She said, "Well, yeah, Becky said it was closed." And Becky wouldn't have done that. And I said, "There's always 3 burgers and 3 brats back there." And she
When was
said,
that? About what time?
it was on a Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, but
Oh, this was probably sometime in May, early May. Because we, as
so
a
she was insubordinate in May. Your tournament is in June.
early, mid-June, yes, yes. Listen, I wanted to fire her. I begged, and so did, Katie Rothgerber. She wanted her fired. But Greg was responsible for it. He kept saying, "Dennis, we got this big tournament. We need bodies." I said, "We can fill in. We got 6 members on this board that can serve, that can wait, can do whatever we need to do out here." And for some reason, he didn't want to fire her. And I told him, I said, "She's going to cause us more trouble than we care to be in." And she has. And she's got other lawsuits against other employers here in the
I
county.
would call trouble like calling in complaints that are not substantiated, just pulling things out of left field that don't really exist. But here we're talking about
Yeah,
things that
we were wrong.
legitimately were
Yeah.
happening.
Listen, whenever that guy came back to meet me the second time, as soon as he walked in, I said, "Guilty as charged." Did he say that in there? Is that in there?
No, but why would you say guilty as charged?
Because
Models had
Alicia,
had
no,
dust
I'm
all
talking about
over
the beer.
something you
I'm
didn't
talking
know
about the beer. When he came back, he went to do a little investigation, and he called me and asked if I could meet him again out there.
Yeah.
And I said yes. And as soon as he walked through the doors, this is about her going to the liquor store and buying beer. I said, "Guilty as charged." She did it. She didn't know him better. Sorry, should have known better, but she didn't.
So the thing I have a question of, he said she took it upon herself.
She did. She
So
did.
how did she pay for it?
She took we keep a credit card back there in the cash register. Well,
He said she paid.
well, she did, but
Outright.
it was with, I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it was our credit card.
Because we couldn't understand why.
Because we keep it there.
Would just go and buy 12.
Yeah,
cases.
no, she
Nobody told her.
wouldn't have that kind of money to do that. We keep it there because we have a green superintendent who from time to time needs to run to one of the parts stores and pick up things too. So he comes up and gets it, and it's also there for when the girls have to run to Walmart and get lettuce and stuff like that. So.
Floor is open for more questions, conversations, or motion.
Well, the only thing I've got to say about all this is, I just hope that you're screening your employees a whole hell of a lot
Yeah.
better and training them a little bit.
Yeah.
And letting them know when
Yeah, we
they're
are.
hired in, exactly what their responsibilities are as far as the
Correct.
alcohol and the
Correct.
liquor.
Yeah.
I mean, they gotta know,
Right.
they should know that right as soon as they're hired,
Yeah.
what they can and can't
Well,
do.
she had a bartender's license. And so, I guess, I was there for the interview. I mean, I guess we just assumed that she knew that you can't, I knew, and I'm not a bartender, that you can't go out and buy beer and bring it in and resell it.
Well, whose job is that ultimately? Who does that responsibility fall back on?
Well, it falls back on I guess me. I mean,
Yes.
I'm the president, yeah.
Yes, there we go.
But
So if you know something and you don't tell your employees, that's a problem.
yeah, well, it turned out to be, yeah.
So how are you going to fix this issue?
Well, anybody we hire now, we make sure that, first of all, she's the only one that can purchase anything with that credit card. No one else can, just her,
Who's that?
Alicia, the manager. And she knows that she cannot go out and buy beer or anything alcohol related, period, alcohol.
So how many people do you guys employ there? Or how many people have an alcohol license?
You mean a bartender's license?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5.
Okay, so what have you done proactively to make sure that these violations stop with those employees?
Well, as I said, Alicia knows she's the only one that can purchase anything. Only one has permission to purchase. And she knows that she cannot buy anything alcohol related, whether it's a mixer, alcohol, beer, whatever.
Okay, is Alicia there 24/7?
No,
No, of course not.
No.
Right. Do you still have a credit card in your cash register?
No, I say cash, but it's in a lockbox. They have a little box, we keep extra cash.
So have you proactively informed the rest of your employees what the expectations and standards are?
I don't know if Greg has done that or not, but I can find
I
out.
would want to, if I'm the president, I want to follow up on that
Okay.
I wanna make sure.
I can do that as soon as I leave here.
because that's your responsibility.
Yeah.
Okay. You are the acting head of this, whether you're a volunteer or whether you're a paid president,
Mhm.
you're the figurehead, right? So people act vicariously on your behalf as the head. If you have knowledge and you just think that everyone else is going to know that because they've got an employee permit, that's probably taking for granted.
Well, when you take the test, aren't there questions you have to answer? When you take I don't know, I've never taken it.
Listen, when we ask you a question, the response, whether they're completely true or they're accurate, or
Mhm.
whether there is some cushion that you're trying to put between yourself and the people who have conducted this, it's this person's fault, it's that person's fault. I knew this, I thought they would know this. Stop dealing in hypotheticals, and you need to be proactive and make sure. Right? You can't blame a test.
I'm not blaming,
knowledge.
it's just a question for my knowledge.
No, I'm saying,
Yeah.
like, I ask you, have you talked to your employees about this? Have you made your employees know what the expectations
And I-
are? And you say, well, don't they take a test?
And I said, I don't
You're
think
the
Greg
president.
has. I don't know if he has or not.
You're the
But I'll
president.
find out.
So you need to make sure that your employees understand what the expectations of the business are and that they're following the law.
As I said, I'll find out. I don't know if Greg has made him aware of it or not, but I will find out.
The only thing I would make sure of is that everybody does have a liquor license also, because he said,
I know
"No,
that.
this- none of this is true. This is not true. It's because we didn't have our bartenders licensed."
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I can't, I don't know why he would have said that, but I do know that the gentleman that was there, I can't remember his name. He checked everybody's license. You got to have that posted.
Well, that's why we asked. This Gazelle guy, he didn't know much of anything regarding these violations, and that's why we continue to ask for you to come in. There seems to be a disconnect between you and he and the staff that are working in the restaurant, and you need to tighten that.
Well, and you're probably right, but you got to kind of keep in mind that, we're a board and no one has a paid job other than the treasurer. She gets your dues paid. And we meet once a month. And that's it, once a month.
But you're the president, right?
Yeah, and I set the
By
agenda
your choice.
for every, no, hell no, I got voted. I tried to get out this time. So,
Well,
I mean, I could have said no on that.
there you go. You
Yeah,
could have said no.
right,
You could have said no,
right.
but you did. So, I mean,
So-
you must love the golf course.
I
You
do
must
love it.
appreciate the golf course. Ultimately, you're the man when it comes to being in charge of the things that are happening at the golf course. So I think the recommendation, you make sure that ship is tight,
I will do that.
and that people are doing what they're supposed to be doing.
I know Becky knows that she can't carry in liquor anymore. That was the cook that brought in that little bottle of Fireball, I think. it
And,
was.
to the point where, you're a board. How well would the golf course function without an alcohol license?
It would hurt. I mean,
Yeah, it would hurt.
So-
So why take the risk?
Yeah, I
Because
agree.
there's no guarantee, there's
I
no
totally agree.
guarantee that further violations will result in a favorable vote by
Yeah.
the board. Any thoughts, any motions?
They have paid their 2 fines.
correct, yeah. I have the cancel checks with me if you,
And you are aware of what you need to do when
Oh,
you
yeah.
get back,
yeah.
when you have your next board meeting or whatever you do.
Well, I can call Greg
Uh,
today and say, "Hey, Greg,
I'd make damn sure that all employees know all this.
Yeah.
For sure.
Even if you have to call a special meeting and get everybody together, even the board, because everybody's got to get on the same page.
Yeah.
Because you don't want it to happen again.
Right.
Sure can't afford to shut that.
No,
Yes.
oh, I know. Like I say, alcohol, we sell a lot. We don't, again, we're not a big club, we don't, we had to go public this year just to keep the doors open. That's how bad it is out there. You know, all of our members, well, you know, all your dad's group is all gone. Yeah. And that's just, you know, there's no one to replace those guys. So.
So I would say, as long as you don't have another violation in 6 months
Yeah.
from today,
Well, options would be for 1 or 2 years, so we couldn't really hold it to 6 month
okay.
top frame. Yeah, I mean, I'm good with renewal here, so I guess I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll make some renewed.
Can I
A
second?
second,
All right, motion is made and seconded for approval. All in favor of that motion? Aye. Motion carries 3-0. Okay. Questions?
No, I mean,
You're free
I'm for.
this time.
Yeah, I feel bad about that. I mean,
Well, I mean,
Alicia, when he came in, just somebody else coming in my team.
Everything that you're making is on public record, so.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, when the gentleman came in, there was 2 of them the first time. And I never denied anything, but I also didn't admit that because I didn't know. Whenever he said this complaint was made, yada, 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 and Alicia was on vacation, so I couldn't talk to her. And then when he came, he called me when he came back, he said, I'd like to have her there too. And I said, that's fine. She'll be back from vacation. And then I asked her about it. She said, I did. She said, I didn't know what to do. She said, I couldn't get a hold of Greg. And I said, but I was here. I was on the course. I was playing in the tournament. And I would have told you, no, we're out of that stinking Miller Lite beer. Sorry, Mark. I don't know if you still drink that or not.
Amber knew all this.
Huh?
Amber knew the rules.
Oh, I'm sure she
She's
did.
worked in
Yeah,
this
she-
kind of business
Yeah.
before.
And so had Alicia out in California.
Well, rules there, I could see where they might be.
Yeah,
But
so I don't know
Amber,
what the
she
rules are.
knew all this.
So I'm sure she did. Yeah. So anyway, I mean, and so anyway, we admitted to doing it and then, yeah, we had the other 2 bottles in there, but who knows how long they've been sitting there or when they were purchased. And so, because I never heard of that
I've
stuff.
seen that before at the Legion Club, at the clubs,
Yeah.
other clubs for.
Yeah.
The stuff is
Right.
like what you said, it happens.
We make sure people come in now. I mean, I will say this here, when people come in and have tournaments there, we had a group last year, they wanted to give prizes away. I said, what are your prizes?
If we don't have anything further, we'll move to close the meeting. Okay.
So anyway,